What, Chris? What's going on? I didn't see you over there, but you know what I did see? IPA number 5. I heard it's pretty good.
Hi guys, welcome to My Own Opinion, and it's a special show today. We've got a special guest tonight on the My Own Opinion, and you know what, guys? All taste is subjective, so get out there, try everything you can. And our beer today is IPA number 5, and today we have with us the man with the plan, Average Joe. Hello, Average Joe. How are you today?
Hello, I'm the man that has been promising a very terrible, overrated channel for about 5 years, and guess what? Still haven't delivered.
Yeah, it's never coming, but whatever. Hey, man, take your
do?
time. Please, take your time. I'm pretty sure.
I might need another 5 years. I don't know. It's just...
And you know what? And to be honest, this is my very first dual opinion or dual review ever. So kind of excited to do this. So let's do it. Let's get to it. This is... Go ahead.
Consider Chris as a tag team match that at Dusty Rhodes.
Tag
Maybe
me
some big tags, baby. Ric Flair. Basically all it is. It's very simple.
That's all it is. Well, everyone here or watching will know my my own personal opinion on this IPA number 5. I haven't really done it on a video or whatever like that, but you guys all know I love it. It's fantastic. And so we're going to do a My Own Opinion tonight, and Joe and I are going to dissect it a little bit. We're not going to give any scores or anything like that, basically, because that's what I don't do anymore. I don't do scores unless I'm on somebody else's channel, and they want to score it, we can score it. The only time I ever score something right now is basically on somebody else's channel, or like I said, or on Tap. So, and I don't do any beer advocate or rate beer or whatever that shit is. So the only one I use is on Tapped. And yeah, so want to get into this beer, Joe?
Nah, I'm good.
You want to talk about it?
No, I'm good. I know you want to talk. Yeah, I mean,
listen, we could end it right now. We don't
need a review. We don't need scores. We don't need anything. We're done. Intro's gone. No, I'm actually curious about this beer because of the hype that you have laid at our feet. But to be fair, I've also had a lot of people tell me that this is kind of like Collective Arts' best beer, because they have done the reason why it's called number 5 is because they did 4 of them beforehand, and I had actually number 2 in the series, which in a press release they called New England Style IPA, ended up not really being one. It was good, but it was kind of disappointing. So everyone says this is the first within the style that kind of hit all the marks of what they're going for. So preconceived notions here, bias, whatever you want to call it. You've had this, I don't know how many times, a lot, like 75 in your fridge. It's insane. But yeah, this is my first time trying it.
Yeah, it's true. I do have a lot of them in my fridge. I actually, to be honest with you, I never really had a lot of New England style IPAs, which this is a representative of, or a New England or West or East Coast IPA or Northeastern, whatever you want to call it. So when I had it the first time, I was like, if this is what New England style IPAs are all about, then I can't wait to try a whole bunch of other ones. And you're going to tell me, and probably you're going to tell me right now, that not all New England style IPAs are the same. I mean,
well, they're not. Just like any others, not all IPAs or imperial stouts are the same. But this is, like, again, according to some, right in the realm of like the upper tier of New England style and kind of true to the style, what you're looking for. Lower bitterness, juicy, mouth feels proper. That's what you're kind of looking for. So, but we haven't even said anything about the beer. So it is a New England Style Double IPA. Comes in at 8.2% alcohol by volume, Citra and Simcoe hops. What date was your can? Because I'm sure yours is going to be fresher than mine.
January 26th, 2018.
January 15th. So yours is 11 days fresher. I almost could math there for a second. But yeah.
Math is for smart people.
Not too Polish guys.
No, not at all. Anyway, so yeah, artwork is fantastic on this can. You know what? Who's the artwork is from Mario Carpe from Prague, the Czech Republic. So, you know, big ups to this guy on his weird alien-like head on there. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's pretty fucking dynamite. I like it.
It is. Also,
let's get into it.
Yeah,
okay,
crack it open. Crack it open. Let's get into it.
Like it always does. Yeah, every time.
For the non-Ontario viewers, Collective Arts is out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Yep. I'm pouring mine in a Teku. How about you?
Baby, that same Teku, baby.
Oh, it's like Teku fever.
But I'm going Barn Cat Artisan Ales out of
I'm going with
Cambridge.
I don't know what this symbol is on the side of mine. I don't know if you guys will be able to see what this is. You see that? It's not really in focus right now. It's like a sun. It looks like a sun. No, but yeah, that is the IP number 5 in this Teku glass. And just for the viewers out there, I have put this because I've had like Joe said, I've had a lot of these. I love this. Actually, a lot of the beer tubers in our little circle have started having this, and they started jumping on the 10th train in their opinions on this. But I'm going off track for a second. I've actually put this through the physics machine, and we'll discuss that after we
be curious.
Dissect.
Be curious to see how it is through that machine. What your opinion is on, but yeah, I mean, I feel like when everyone talks about like the appearance, it looks like a New England Style IPA. There's not much more to say. It's like a glowing, like orange yellow color, frothy head. Looks creamy. I mean, it doesn't.
Just for the people watching this, yours is almost room temp. I'm going to say, or it's a little bit not as cold as mine.
It's about half an hour in the fridge, so probably in like the 10 to say 15 degree range Celsius, somewhere in that range.
Mine's straight out the fridge, the way I like it.
It's nice. It's cool. It's not cold.
Mine's nice and cold. Let's take let's take a smell of this.
Mm-hmm.
This smells
fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It smells like juice. It smells. I added the juices on this one. I get a ton of the pineapple and a ton of orange out of this. Not so much grapefruit or mango or any of that, but more pineapple and orange on this one.
Me, it's like a tropical fruit bowl. Pineapple. You say no mango, I get a bit mango.
All of them.
I get like more of like a stone fruit vibe, like a peachy apricot thing too. Not much citrus though.
The apricot, yeah.
Yeah, like but the pineapple is definitely huge. Like it's
huge.
A lot of pineapple. Yeah, it's huge.
Huge.
There's not much else going on though. There's not like a dankness or any pine or any earthiness. It's pretty much juice in alcoholic form.
Yes. An 8.2% ABV juice.
Yeah, you don't get any of the alcohol either. No astringency in the nose whatsoever. So, I mean, it smells true to style. Like this is what you want.
It smells like Collective Arts has a winner.
It smells like you already know what this tastes like. Yeah,
let's get it. Drink it. Cheers. Cheers, my friend. Cheers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to top mine up right now. Now I've had a few of these cans, I would say, and I've had some of these cans have, and you know what? For everyone watching this, not all 2 cans are the same. 2 cans. That's pretty funny, because I've had some ones that had some sediment come out of the can, where literally drop it to the bottom, and you're like, did I clean my glass? Like, did I leave a stout halfway through my glass, and all of a sudden I'm pouring this? Sometimes sediment does come out of this. If it does, don't get all freaked out because it all goes in the same stomach.
Yeah, just chew it. No big deal. Just chew it. What are you going to do?
It's like gum.
But the first thing I noticed about this outside the juiciness is the fact that we're drinking, like it's going down scared. Like you pretty much said it was very drinkable and crazy. It's yeah, I could drink this thing probably in like 5-10 minutes. This
is not if somebody showed me this and said, you know what, here, try this for a second. Try this on it, and they'll be like, okay. I'll be like, okay, I'll try it. It looks like juice. I'll drink it. And then after I sipped it and they told me that it was 8.2%, I'd be like, bullshit. Let me see the can.
Yeah.
Because there's no way this tastes like a 8.2%.
No, like you always used to talk about like the burn and whatnot, and you've adjusted quite a bit by drinking bigger ABV beers over like the last year. But even so, like this is actually quite scary, and I don't mind that it's 8.2, but the fact that it drinks like it's 5.2 is scary in the sense that you could buy this and be oblivious to it, drink like 3 cans, and you're done.
And you're done. Like,
yeah,
each one of these cans is like having a pint. So you can drink a pitcher of this, which would be 3 cans of these in Canadian form. Obviously, Canadians, pouring it well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Not going to translate it. I don't know what's happening.
No
whatever. Conversion here.
60 ounces or whatever is a pint, is a pitcher here. You can go through a pitcher of this. You're going to be totally knocked on your ass because you're going to drink it like crazy, and it's not going to burn. I mean, it might warm up on you by that time, but
yeah, and you're gonna feel good too. I would say, like, again, I don't have like extensive knowledge of drinking like all the hyped New England style breweries all over the U.S., but I've had the bigger ones, the Trilliums, the Tree Houses, the Other Halves. These are very popular hype breweries, and I'd say for the most part, I'm not gonna say this is exactly right next to them, but it's pretty damn close. And this is probably the best representation of the style that I've had out of Ontario. I've had some other, and I actually have a couple in the fridge, but even Bellwood's one of my favorite breweries, period. Like, I like a couple of their beers better, but I don't think I've had like a New England style IPA from them that I would say is better than this. I think Collective Arts did a fantastic job on this, much better than the number 2 I had, and much better than any IPA I've had from them so far.
Let me tell you something. If Collective Arts doesn't make this one of their regular beers, I will be really, really surprised, because this should be on the shelves all the time. Why wouldn't it be?
I have a feeling it's going to be. And the reason for that is because I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. I don't know if you have it actually set up for me to show up, or you just use still all the time.
No.
It says limited release.
It's on all of us. Yep.
Yeah, it says limited release. And the fact is, even though it's a limited release, I think they've done like at least 2 or 3 batches of this, because you see that I had the January 15th batch. Chris has the January 22nd batch, or 26th, I believe. And I think they actually have even a fresher batch that's at like 2 or 3 weeks old. I have a feeling that the feedback is going to dictate that they probably make this at the very least a rotating offering. I don't know if it'll be year round, just because I don't know if Collective Arts is big enough or has the capacity to get the hops in the amount that they need to consistently brew this. But like, it would be, I think it would be really good if they ended up at least making this a rotating offering, like every couple months it's on the shelf, because it's a great beer.
Or at the very least, give it a name as opposed to IPA number 5. Call it former number 5 or something like that, and at least have it as a seasonal then, and bring it out every season. And if you can't maintain it every couple months or straight through the whole year all the time, which they probably won't be able to do it. But anyway, even if they just left it as a seasonal beer, I'll be happy with that. As long as I can get this every year. Yeah, exactly.
Just bring it back.
Like, and don't fucking go out with IPA number 6 and it be shit.
And it's funny you mention that. I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but there's a local brewery here in Western New York, in Wilson, New York, right on the shores of Lake Ontario, the southern shores of Lake Ontario, called Woodcock Brothers Brewing Company, and they actually have a series called the XPA series that they number, right? Yeah. And I think it was XPA number 6 was kind of like this, where it was like everybody loved it, and then they just kept on making new versions of it, and people were like, well, where's number 6? Where's number 6? It took them almost a year, I think it was, or maybe like a year and a half, to bring back a new version of number 6. And it was like, I hope that doesn't happen with this, because yes, you probably want them to continue on the path of number 6, 7, and 8, but if the feedback's good, make sure you rebrew this, rename it, whatever. Make sure people can get it again, because it's well received. As a business, you want to listen to your customers, and if your customers saying this is awesome, you should probably review it at some point.
And I hope to God that Collective Arts listens to their customers, because everyone's raving about this thing. Mm-hmm. This is a fad beer right now. I'll tell you right now, the whole style of the New England style, and you bringing it into Canada like this for all the non-beer drinkers, all the noobs out there. You bring this into Canada now, everyone's going to start loving it. And if you don't keep it going, or at least for a couple seasons, couple years, maybe, until the fad wears down, you can start making it a little bit less. Long story short, you don't listen to your customers, you're going to start losing customers on this one, because this is a fantastic beer. And if they don't maintain it, people are going to start jumping ship. They'll be like, okay, they don't listen to their customers. They don't want anybody. We're leaving. Yep. We're just going to take off.
And the one thing I do, and we didn't mention like availability or price or whatever, what was it, like 3 something a can, 450,
$4.95 a can,
and that was Canadian, so it's like 12 cents American. Let's just be honest, it's not much.
Like
No, but I mean that's a relatively similar price to what you pay for them in the States. Usually it's $4 or $5 American for a good New England style IPA, or like $20 a 4-pack max. But the availability, I think, is kind of what sets them apart from everybody else, because you can find this like all over basically southeastern Ontario, like within I don't know how many kilometers of the actual brewery, but like you're in St. Catharines, and you were like, oh yeah, I bought them all, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, there's 50 more or whatever.
That was the new batch, apparently.
Yeah, and another thing is, if you live in New York State, Collective Arts, especially here in Western New York, and I know for a fact, I think all the way upstate, I don't know if it's in New York City. In New York State, they distribute, and you get a lot of their stuff. I think, don't hold me to this if any New Yorkers are watching, probably not. But this should be showing up in the next week or two, from what I was told. So we should be able to get it locally here. So if you're in the States and you're in New York, owe you to yourself to get a can or two and try it out.
That's funny, because last time I was in the States, and I went when I was in the Wegmans, there were some Collective Arts in there. Obviously, this wasn't there. I actually looked for it. I was like, okay, there's the Collective Arts area, and then it's not there. I'm like, okay, it hasn't.
That'd have been the best thing ever if you would have brought back like a 4-pack from Wegmans, just because awesome. You wanted more. That has been hilarious.
That would have been, and it's funny because you're saying I bought them all in St. Catharines, and I did at the time when I bought the last 10 cans. They were the last 10 cans in St. Catharines. Yeah. Couple days later, all of a sudden they're available everywhere again. And I'm like, good, because I didn't want to steal them all from everyone, which I would gladly do again if I could afford it.
And that's a good thing, like I said, about the availability of this beer. You're talking about a beer that you can get relatively easy. When beers of this caliber or this quality are made, especially within the New England style, usually they're if they're not just brewery only, whenever they get out the bottle shops, they're limited, 1 or 2 cans, a 4-pack per customer. It's cool that if you live, like I said, within the earshot of Collective Arts, and you can go to an LCBO relatively close by, you get whatever the fuck you want. Let's be honest, whatever you want.
Yeah, the best thing is about the LCBO, when I walked out of the LCBO in St. Catharines with all 10 cans they had left, they didn't say nothing. They go, see you later.
Yeah, well, what are you doing? There must be a good beer.
$49.95 later. See you later. I gotta go.
Yeah.
They're happy that they got rid of them. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure if they were scared, like CBS, for example, when I walked in that same LCBO and bought the last 2 CBS in there, I thought for sure they were going to say you can only have one. But
yeah, I
don't know what their limit was, if they even have one in Ontario when it comes to that. They might, they might not. I don't know. I haven't actually experienced that yet, but you never know. It might actually happen.
Good.
But with this one, who cares? As long as Collective Arts keeps making it, then there won't be a shortage. I just hope that they don't. I'm very proud of what Collective Arts has done with this beer, because for me, this is one of the one. It's not the first New England style IPA I've ever had, but this is the best New England style IPA I've ever had so far. Now, with that being said, I may now use this as a benchmark for every other style that I'm getting. I'm going to either be like, oh, this is better than number 5, or not so better. And it's funny because I did my own opinion on the Laser Show. And that was a Vermont style IPA. Same idea, same thing.
Similar,
and
yeah.
It's pretty close. And it was at 8.0%, 8% alcohol, and there was a little bit of hop in there. And this one is all juice, and the Laser Show ended up being a little bit of piney on the end, which is whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, pine's not going to kill me, but
not that you're aware of anyway.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, somebody shooting me with a pine needle with a blow of. Never mind. Anyway, I've had, and it wasn't as good as this one, and I actually use this one now as a benchmark. Is what I'm trying to say. So.
And I would say, from my experience with the style, it's not a bad benchmark to use, because, like I said, this is definitely you don't use ratings, and I won't bring any ratings to this, but I will say, as far as
you fucking better not.
within the realm. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. I didn't say that.
3.75?
Not Nick. I didn't nick it out of 5. No, but like this is up there. It's not nearly the best I've ever had in the style, but it's a true representation of the style. It's damn tasty. And I mean, yeah, if this is the first New England style IPA that someone picks up, then there's only you're going to only go down from here.
You're going downhill from here.
Not necessarily, but like if you're in Ontario where there's a lot of breweries that are saying they're brewing the New England style, and then you get them and it's like crystal clear and it's not juicy, and you're like, well, this just tastes like a regular IPA. There's a lot of those breweries. But as far as the style goes, like this hits all the notes that it needs to. If you're drinking this for the first time, or maybe the first couple New England style IPAs you ever had before this wasn't as good as this, that's because this is actually well within the style and damn good for the style. So
I do have a couple questions for you, Joe. Number one, would the price, I don't know how it is in the States. I don't actually know if technically how it is in Ontario or in Canada in general, but because this is a double IPA sitting at 8.2%, does that bring the price up?
Maybe ever so slightly. A lot of people like to associate ABV with price, but it's not that simple anymore. Maybe it was 5-10 years ago. I mean, it's all about ingredients. The fact of the matter is, the reason why New England style IPAs are expensive to begin with is the sheer amount of hops they dry hop it with. Because these beers smell so amazing and a lot of times taste amazing, you're not understanding how many pounds per barrel they're putting in there. It's incredible. And to get some of these, more expensive, harder to get hops like the Citrus and Mosaics and Galaxies, to get them in, in this beer as much as they need to have them, it's expensive. So I wouldn't say necessarily anymore the ABV really plays a factor. It's more of the ingredients or the age that it takes to make a product. Like a 4% sour, you might say, well, it's 4%. Why am I paying $10 for this bottle? Well, if it wasn't a kettle sour and they had to sit it for 6 to 8 months, you're paying for the time that it had to sit. So with this specific style, it's all about how many hops. I don't think the ABV plays too much of a role, just because so many of these New England styles are anywhere between 6 to 8. And I don't think it really matters too much anymore.
Now that brings me into the second question. Because this is a double IPA, because it's such a high ABV, what kind of New England styles are there that are lower in the ABV? Like if it wasn't a double IPA, would it be lower in ABV? For example, like that makes it a double, right? Because of the high ABV. Or
basically, the threshold, the modern threshold, I think it's highly debated, but basically when you hit 8%, it's a double for any style. New England style, though, is just the way it's brewed. So they have session New England style, they have regular New England style, and they have double. They even have triple. I've had a couple triple from other half and from the Vale where they were like 11%. And the craziest one I ever had was from Who Farted. Yeah, it sounds like someone saying, Who Farted, everyone? Yes, it's HOOF, Hearted. Hearted, like, hearted. And they had this beer, I forgot what the Dragons had. It was like 11%, 11.5%. It tasted like it was 5. It was magical. There's some kind of voodoo stuff going on, but it was just mind blowing.
Magical Houdini.
Seriously, if you think it 11.5 didn't burn in whatever, it tasted like it was 5. It was insane how good that beer was. One of the best IPAs I've ever had. And that's crazy just how things are happening nowadays with everyone brewing crazy stuff and making 10% beers taste like it's 5, kind of like this. 8.2 tastes like a 5. It's scary, but it's also awesome, especially if you want to drink only a couple beers and get sloshed. But I mean, the New England style is popular. You called it a fad, and look, it's too early to tell because the New England style has been around for 3 or 4 years now. It hasn't become really popular the last couple of years, where every single brewery across the world is basically.
Well, I'm making it popular in St. Catharines, I'll tell you.
You're spending all your money. But the simple fact of the matter is this, and I keep on saying simple fact of the matter because it's a fact. The fact is, beer drinkers like this style right now. Whether or not you do, it doesn't matter because there's a lot of people that do. And a lot of people that don't. But the people who do are buying them in mass quantities, and they're keeping so many breweries not even afloat, just making them do extremely well. And there's a lot to like about the actual style. It's if you're not a big fan of the bitterness or the pine, pine resin, pine needles, whatever character you get pine wise.
Yeah, just like a West Coast. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and a lot of people get upset because now they're like, you're skirting the line between drinking a alcoholic juice and a beer, and it's like, no, this still has enough beer qualities to it. But yeah, it has a juicy component with a low bitterness. Is that wrong to like? Yeah, it's an eye of the beholder.
In my own opinion.
In my own opinion, beautiful segue.
Awesome?
But that's honestly the honest to God truth. I mean, if you enjoy this style, there's nothing wrong with that, and so many people do, and that's why it's popular.
And if you're not trust me, if you walk into any, I don't know, say house party, or you walk into bring your own BYOB kind of get together, and you bring this and pour it into a glass, and you say to somebody, first of all, you're going to say to someone, do you like pineapple juice? Because that's the first thing I'm going to say. You want to try something? Do you like pineapple juice? No, forget it. You can go have a stout.
Or fruit juice. You could even just say generic fruit juice.
Do you like fruit juices? Yeah. Do you like the juice? And if they say, yeah, I love fruit. I love fruit juices. I'm like, okay, you know what? Try this beer. And they're going to look at it and go, yeah, that's not a beer. Yeah, trust me. Try this. And then 9 times out of 10, they're going to either say, this is fucking fantastic, or they're going to say, wow, this is a beer? They're not going to say, oh, they hate it. Because if anyone that likes juice or fruit juices or anything like that says they hate this, they don't like juice. Okay.
No, and if you don't like juice, you're not going to like style. But I mean, it's a good gateway style. That's the way I look at it. It's like if you want someone to get into beer or IPAs, you could say, here's the New England Style IPA. It doesn't have all that pine and the. I mean, a lot of them have dankness, but it's like they're fruity, they're juicy. It's not just citrus and pine. It's tropical fruit. It's stone fruit. It's the juiciness, and it's like. That's why, but again, that's why so many people like them, because it's akin to juice and alcoholic juice, and a lot of people in this world love juice, whatever kind of juice you like, and it just works. So
with the dankness part on this beer,
I don't get much.
I think I really enjoy this. That there isn't much dankness at all.
No, I mean
there's not that wet. There's not that wet fucking haze smell or anything like that. It's actually fucking pleasantly. It smells fucking delicious. It smells like as good as it's going to taste.
And you know what I like about this? Now, again, my can is, like 5 weeks old and yours is, say, 3.5. And this is something that you haven't experienced too much just because you haven't experienced with the style. Is there's a lot of these beers, when you drink them a week or two old, they have what it's debated about what to call it. A lot of people say greenness. A lot of people say astringency, which is the truth because it's astringent part of the beer you don't want. Like it's a character, and a lot of people say hop burn, where like the finish is almost like the hops are burning your throat. Now I have this at 5 weeks. I can't speak for a week or two old. I know you can because you've had it plenty of times, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't even have like a remnant of that whatsoever. It's just fruit juice and pretty much fruit juice. There is no dankness. There's no pine. There's no earthiness. There's no greenness. There's nothing. It's just all pineapple and like apricot. It drinks extremely easy. The one thing I will say, where it knocks it down slightly for me in comparison to the upper echelon of the New England style, is the mouthfeel.
Careful what you say, because
I know
it's my baby. It's my baby.
I don't want to abuse your baby here. I don't want to abuse your girlfriend. Okay.
Tell me about how it feels in your mouth, Joe. Tell me.
I know, but seriously, the mouthfeel, it's not as like creamy or dense or soft as some of there we go. Segue. How do we edit this? No, segue into that. It doesn't matter that much because, like, if you're drinking a beer just because of the mouthfeel, like nitros, you're an idiot. Sorry, Chris. I'm just kidding. No, I could see how physics could improve this a little bit more with it, make it a little softer, a little bit more dense and whatnot. But some of these, hyped world class New England style producers, the mouthfeel and the body of them is like. It's crazy. It's like drinking a fruit smoothie. This isn't quite there. No. That would be the only, and it's not even a negative. It's the only thing that I would say maybe knocks it down a peg from those beers. Like the actual characteristics and the flavors of the beer are spot on. The mouthfeel and body a little bit lacking, but I'm grasping for straws to kind of knock it down. I'm nitpicking.
I know that. And what's funny about and segueing into the whole creamy mouthfeel. When I did physics this one, and I actually, out of all the IPA number 5s that I've had, I physics half of them, And every single time, it's like putting whipped cream on top of the fucking. It's exactly like putting whipped cream on top of a fucking fruit smoothie, and it's that good. Like that mouthfeel. It's like taking a Guinness head and placing it right on top of the fucking IPA number 5, and it's just so it's thick like a fucking marshmallow right on top. And Joe, I can't wait for you to try it through the physics.
Oh, baby, I'm so happy to try, baby. I think I don't think there is lactose in here, but I think for you specifically, what you're talking about, there's a lot of IPAs and a lot of New England style IPAs that use lactose, and to bring lactose into this would give it like that pineapple creamsicle vibe. That's what it would do. That's what a lot of lactose does to these beers. And I feel like that's the one thing that's missing from here that could bump up that mouthfeel to where it needs to be. And then just add a little
bit of lactose in this, baby.
Oh, baby, it'll be so creamy, baby. It'll be on between your teeth and everything, baby.
So Joe told me the physics this IPA number 5, and it's in the physics right here. I'm out of focus. It's in here, and we're going to pour this out here. There we go. There's the beer. So we do a little bit of a pour. I kind of want that silky smooth head on there. And now we're going to give it a little bit of a head on there. Or just float on top. Oh yeah, this is just it's so cloudy. Like look at this. Look at the legs on this, okay?
Is that nitroed? Is that nitroed?
It's not, but you know what? Oh my god, it's like having fucking marshmallows. And I'm gonna add some more of that head on there.
Might be the best thing that Chris has ever bought in his life.
Literally, I don't know. The sonication in this thing right now is just totally turning it into a fucking
sonication. I'm done. It's over.
The sonication that's happening right now in the physics machine is just making it so fucking creamy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Sonication. Dream of sonication. Oh,
like look at this fucking head. Like
it looks like it's nitroed. It looks like it's nitro. That's the thing about it. I obviously it's not. It's physics.
It's sonication.
Yeah, but I mean, if like you gave it something, be like, it's basically nitro. That's like a nitro lacing is what's left there.
Yes.
That looks nice.
Okay, it's a lot of head.
But yeah, it may have not been professionally poured or anything, but it's all right.
We're gonna end this. My own opinion. By Joe telling me his own opinion on the IPA number 5. Go ahead, Joe.
I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Done. No, no ratings. No ratings.
Damn it.
No, I think it's like I said, up there is one of the best IPAs that I've had out of the province of Ontario, Canada. It's a damn good beer, and for anyone who hasn't had a New England style IPA and wants a proper one, and you live in Ontario and you can get this beer, I'd say check it out. For $4.95 a can, some people might think that's steep. That's pretty much the going rate for the style. And the fact that you can buy it at so many LCBOs is incredible. And yeah, I hope they continue to brew it. I hope they make it at the very least a rotating offering. I hope it shows up in Western New York because I will buy maybe another can or two, maybe not 28 of them like Chris has, but I'll probably buy a couple of them. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. And I can see why you have liked it. I can see why so many of my friends have liked it. And yeah, probably Collective Arts' best beer to date for me.
Excellent. And in my own opinion, this is fantastic. I always say it's fantastic. That's kind of my signature thing. And I'm not going to lie. It is as good as Joe says. It is probably one of the best beers from Collective Arts. And if they don't continue this beer, a lot of people are going to get angry, myself included, as well as the people that have tried this in the beer community that I've pushed this and I've pimped this onto. And I've said, you know what, everyone try my baby. My baby's delicious. Try it. Please try it. And they have, and they're like, you're right, your baby's delicious. And you know what? There's not much to say on this one except for, well, not much. We've said enough, but
only like 45 minutes worth.
Yeah, whatever. That's cool. It's better than any fucking beer analysis 101, I'll tell you right now.
Well, the beer certainly is.
It's a fantastic beer from Collective Arts, and I can agree with Joe, and Joe will agree with me that this is a wonderful gateway beer into the New England style IPAs, especially being a double IPA at 8.2% that drinks. And Joe says 5, I say about 4.5%, 4% maybe. It's like this is my second one, and
yeah, give it time. I just want to say one thing because I haven't used it all 45 minutes worth. If they don't rebrew it, that's on them. That's on them.
There you go. The corruptor says it's on you, Collective Arts.
I'm grooming currently.
He's grooming Collective Arts. You know what? I'm going to tag Collective Arts on this one, and I'm going to their Facebook page and I'm going to link this video, and it'd be like Joe said.
That's on you. That's on you. It's good stuff though. Good job to Collective Arts for brewing this.
They did a great job. Now, I want to say, if you like the video, click the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to On the 10th. And that was my own opinion with the average one, the average Joe, who will have a channel sometime in 3048 if he's still alive.
Yeah, give
or take a few. Anyway, we're done. That was our own opinion, right, Joe?
Nope.